But one thing that's always been a constant is obviously professional wrestling. Like, that's kept me on the up and up. It's kept me on the straight and narrow. It's always been that driving force, that thing that's been turning in the background. It's not an easy thing because, as I say, the journey itself just isn't an easy thing to come to terms with.
Well, welcome back to Grapple Theory. Thanks so much for joining us once again. And this week, we're joined by the awesome Scotty Rawk. Scotty, welcome back to the podcast. It's been a long time since we last spoke. How you been?
All good, my man. I've been busy. Been here, there, and everywhere since we were last on a call together. So yeah, loads to catch up on.
Really, and I was going to say it's been at least a couple of years, and you've done so much in that time. I think it's fair to say as well, like a lot has changed for you outside the ring as well in that last few years since we've spoken. Like, I mean, first of all, talk about just in terms of, I guess since we last spoke, a lot has changed for you. How has that all been for you in terms of like personally, both in and out of the ring?
There's been a hell of a lot of sort of personal growth over the last couple of years, specifically these last 18 months. I mean, I've gone from being pretty stable to pretty unstable to climbing myself back up and on the up now. So yeah, like it's been a complete turnaround, 180 of events, different things. Like, I mean, I've recently been diagnosed with ADHD. So like getting a diagnosis was a pretty mega step for sort of mental health and in regards to sort of like working through some of the things that, you know, I had a lot of questions surrounding. Like it's been a bit of a whirlwind, to be honest. So, but one thing that's always been a constant is obviously professional wrestling. Like, that's kept me on the up and up. It's kept me on the straight and narrow. It's kept me physically fit, physically active, and trying to stay on top form.
Yeah, which is awesome. I think that's the thing, isn't it? Like, sometimes when stuff is so much is happening, like personally, it's nice to have that escape from it, like, which wrestling always is, but it's nice to have that as that, again, like you say, that stable thing that you can then focus on as the thing that's getting you through.
Definitely, 100%. It's always been that driving force, that thing that's been turning in the background, that thing that's never let me slip beyond being able to, you know, take care of myself and look after myself first before anything else. Because if I'm no good to myself, then I'll be no good in the ring, I'll be no good to the fans, I'll be no good for the bookings, you know. So it's always been that driving force that's kept me going. So it's always been the thing that I've been chasing.
Yeah, for sure. And something like I know, because I know friends who are the same, but something where like an ADHD diagnosis can really help you is the fact that like just knowing that it's there, just knowing that like that's confirmed, just explains like a lot from what I know. Like, it allows to like process your feelings differently.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, I've always been pretty open about mental health. I've always been very open about sort of the things that I've struggled with and my recollection of what sort of mental health works to me. I mean, away from wrestling, it's a field that I work within as well. Like, I go up and down the country. I deliver mental health first aid to some big companies. So creating that awareness and making sure there's procedures and stuff in place for big corporations, big companies, things like that. So yeah, speaking openly about mental health and having that further understanding has always been something that I've been really, really passionate about through my own sort of stories and struggles, hoping that it can resonate with anyone that'll listen, you know. So having that ADHD diagnosis for me was a pretty significant step. It really sort of helped compartmentalize things in my own head in regards to things that I was really struggling with, of, you know, sort of beating myself up most days, wondering why I can't seem to find like the motivation to do things that like should just be a given, the things that should just be day-to-day quote unquote normal things. But I think the thing that I've realized most is just how much having generalized anxiety also feeds ADHD and vice versa. So like speaking to like the psychiatrist and stuff, it was they were telling me that it's kind of like the perfect storm to have both anxiety and ADHD, because you get anxious about your ADHD tendencies, and then when anxieties and stress are higher, then your ADHD symptoms flare up more, things like that. So it's constantly sort of trying to chase your tail whilst trying to be as productive as we can.
I was going to say, like, obviously you mentioned like wrestling being like the stable thing. Is it tough to balance it as well though, when you've got a lot going on, like whether it's that or like anyone else having like anything else personally going on, is it tough to balance, like, okay, how am I going to keep on top of making sure I'm in the ring, making sure I'm fit, making sure I'm active, making sure I can do what I need to do in the ring when all this is also going on?
I think wrestling for me, because for me it is a lifestyle. It's more than just a hobby. It's become my career, which is amazing over the last couple of years. Like it's taken me to borderline full time, which is absolutely wicked. It's supported me when I've needed support. It's been there through thick and thin, so to speak. But pro wrestling has always kept me accountable. So because it means so much to me, and because it's been such a huge part of my day to day, a huge part of my life, a huge part of who I am, I know that routines are very, very helpful for keeping things like ADHD and mental health well balanced. So I know that it's kind of a little bit backwards because my brain like hacks itself because I don't get the dopamine. I run on like cortisol, which is the stress hormone. So I get like, if I fall out of routine, I get really, really stressed and overwhelmed. So like I know that to follow and continue to be a pro wrestler, I need to be on top of my nutrition. I need to be on top of the gym. And that routine, as I say, keeps me accountable and keeps my brain ticking. So yeah. It sounds quite counterproductive with it being like, oh, okay, instead of being flooded with the reward system hormones, you're flooded with the stress hormone to keep you on form. But it's strange how the biology of the brain like hacks itself into submission.
Oh, for sure. It's the sort of thing like exactly like you say, where like you'd think it would be like you said, counterproductive, but like people's brains work in different ways, right? And if that's what works for you, and if that's like your way around it, and that's how you keep going, like that's fine. You know what I mean? Like you've just got to essentially, like everyone just needs to do what they got to do to get by, right?
Yeah, completely. I mean, it can lead to like a hell of a lot of burnout, but again, it's managing that when it crops up. So remembering to look after yourself, remembering those little self-care tips, and to not be so hard on yourself when you are suffering from burnout and when things are getting a little bit too much. It's easy to get overwhelmed, especially in the industry that we work in. But as long as I say, keep yourself accountable, hold yourself to a high standard, keep your head above the water, and look after yourself first and foremost, because you can't pour from an empty cup, can you?
No, exactly. And I love that. And I love that you've got that balance. That's really important. And congratulations for that. I think that's great. I mean, like, in terms of, you mentioned mental health is something we spoke about last time we spoke as well, a couple of years ago. And I remember you saying like that you're always like trying to help people out where you can, and always like that open ear for people. And like, this is something that, again, in terms of in the ring is quite old now, but I know it's something that I've been wanting to talk to you for a while, because ever since you mentioned it, we've had wrestlers who have named you as people, like someone who has helped them through stuff when they've been going through stuff, which I think is amazing. And again, more power to you for that. But one of them that really struck me was your former tag partner, Kira Chimera. And like everything that she went through, and saying that you were just like that constant source of inspiration for her. And then you guys were an epic tag team for a while as well. Like,
hell yeah, man.
So wholesome.
It was awesome. Like getting to know Kira on a more personal level than just someone that we'd message every now and then was amazing. So me going to United and becoming quite a big face of the company for United has been absolutely mega over these last couple of years. Me and Kira got real close after working like a series of 3 matches against each other. And then, yeah, we formed the Dogs Bollocks, which is the tag team that we toured across Europe with, which was crazy. Like, we got to do some crazy bits for United. We got to hold the United Tag Team Championships. And then when we took the Tag Team Championships for United overseas and we defended them in France, we defended them at Rick's, we literally got to create world championships. And I mean, that's something that I've had the privilege of being able to do for a couple of promotions now, like being able to go and take a championship and take a title, defend it overseas, create that aura, create that name, and really create meaning behind the company behind the gold, behind the titles. It's been crazy. But yeah, mine and Kira's relationship's been super, super good. I actually went out to Kira's over this summer. And I got to deliver a seminar for Kira and some of the French team that she trains with over there. That was super wicked. It was real hot though. We were training in a barn, and it must have been like 32, 33 degrees. So it was a real sweaty one. We got really down to the nitty gritty, but a really, really cool experience to be able to go out there and sort of pass on some little bits of what I have picked up over the years, like little bits of info, little nuggets of gold that I've picked up from other people that I've then been able to pass on to some people that are coming up now.
Yeah, which I love. And again, like you mentioned in terms of like the whole history of it, like I think that's one of the things I love most about wrestling is the fact that these friendships, these partnerships can like stem from like nowhere. Like it's just like you had a match and that match was great. And then all of a sudden you had the second match because the first match was so good. And then it becomes a trilogy. And all of this time, your relationship's like developing as friends. And then it becomes a tag team. And you get to, like you said, go and see the world, go and see other countries, like, because that first match gave you all of the rest. And it's just wild how that works sometimes.
It's literally like I've got so much respect for Kira. I remember sort of when we were first put into the ring together, there was a point sort of before we went out where she was a little bit shaky, a little bit nervous. I'm sure she won't mind me mentioning, but like I grabbed her by the head, I gave her a shake, and I was like, girl, you are the dog's bollocks. You've got to remember that. You've got to go out there and you've got to own that. And that's kind of where the name of the tag team came from, just literally a little pre-curtain shake before we went out there and absolutely killed it. I can't remember if it was the first or second match that we had together, but I think we have so much trust in each other being between the ropes with each other now, whether that's against each other as opponents or tagging together as a team. She's like the female French Stone Cold. Like she really is cool as fuck.
Yeah, she is. She really is. She really is. And it's great for like for you guys then as well, like not just like for you guys, but like for the other relationships you guys have, like friend-wise, like relationship-wise, in and outside of wrestling. It's like it's just nice knowing that there's that person who, yes, you can have like the epic match with, but also that you can step out the ring and you can like actually talk and like, you know, be there for each other and know each other and like, you know how to get each other through as well. Like you said, like when you mentioned like about where the name came from.
100%. I mean, away from shows, Kira was taking me around Rennes in France, and we were getting crepes, we were getting waffles. But we spent a couple of weekends together in London around like the All In weekend, one of the first AEW big Wembley shows, where we worked a couple of shows together. So yeah, like it's nice to be able to go to a show and see these familiar faces, but it's nice to build those bonds with actual genuine friendships outside the ropes as well.
For sure. Was Ren as nice as Grimsby?
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. No, Rennes pretty dope. It's a very, very beautiful, like historic town. I think in Brittany, which is the sort of Western France, it's where like crepes and pancakes and things like that actually came from. Like she was talking me through all the different delicacies and stuff. Whereas I think the best that we can offer you in Grimsby is a fish finger butty. So,
I mean, who's to say which is better, right? Who's to say though? Really,
I don't know. You can visit and you can let me know which one.
They're both pretty solid, aren't they? Really, let's face it. Like, I wouldn't mix them though. I wouldn't have like a fish finger butty in a crate. You know what I mean? Like
no,
that one
savory then sweet. I think.
Yeah. No, I don't get savory pancakes. Like people that have like ham and cheese, I don't get it. I can't do it. It seems weird.
You got to have some kind of like chocolatey spread or some golden syrup. Yeah, something sugary.
Biscoff is the weakness for me, I'll be honest.
Oh, don't, man. I'm a Biscoff fiend.
Mate,
absolutely.
It is so addictive. It's ridiculous. Love that. I love that. Well, that brings us nicely into our first little feature we're going to get into here, Scotty. And I remember last time, a couple of years ago when we spoke, we got to know you with our feature Anatomy of a Pro Wrestler. But now we're going to get to know your thoughts on your fellow wrestlers, because this feature is called Dishing the Dirt. Right. I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to let me know which wrestler that you wrestle with in any locker room across the country best associates with that thing.
Oh, you're going to get me in trouble, man.
No, sorry. But to be fair, I say it's dishing the dirt. Only half of them I would say are like dirt. The other half are quite nice. It's like it's a nice little mix. But the first one is who's always running late.
I'd have to say Darius, but I think that's because he's booked everywhere all the time. I think there's been so many shows that I've turned up to where I know Darius is on the card, and either he's not there when the doors are open, or he's had to wrestle and then shoot off because he's just in such high demand. And I mean, absolute props to him, because that boy has put so much graft in, and to see like how far he's taken the Lyrical Dragon tour now is absolutely insane. Like, honestly, mad respect for the hustle, mad respect for the grind. But yeah, Darius is always one that's running late, my man.
We've had Darius as that example for that exact reason as well. Like, just everyone's just like, he's just too busy. Like he's always late, but we'll let him off because he's everywhere.
Oh, you've got to let Darius off, man.
Yeah. No, it's fair play. He is like a machine. It is ridiculous. I mean, I know, again, I'm going to go weird tangent here, but I know you're a music guy yourself. I know you've like been in a couple of bands and stuff. Like, yeah. Darius is a front. I know it's not exactly the same sort of music, but like Darius is a front man. What would you think of that?
Oh, I would be so buzzed if I turned up to a gig and Darius was the front man for a band, whether he was the hype man for a DJ set. That man has got charisma. That man has got energy. I remember once there was a TNT show where Darius was making his entrance, and I stole a fan's phone. And I was filming Darius's entrance from in ring, rapping along to Man Like Darius's entrance song. I mean, I know 90% of the words. I think that's my brain that just links to lyrics. I'm super switched on when it comes to like lyrics and useless film quotes. But there was me, there was James Greenwood, there was Daz Black, and we were all just vibing, man. Like, I'd be so pumped if Darius was the front man at any sort of concert I was going to.
I love that. That's good, actually. That's good. I think we should get the crossover here where you play Darius, like you do Darius's entrance for him, but like metal cover version.
Oh, we could definitely do some kind of punk version of the 0121.
Yes, Darius, if you see this, let's make it happen. Let's do this.
I'd be well up for that, 100%.
Yeah, would love it. The next one is this is the one I always sort of associate with like someone you travel with, I guess, most, because it's who has the worst music case.
I think the worst music case has got to be Rogan from Reese and Rogan, you know, Yorkshire Tough.
Yeah.
He's the only man that I know will willingly listen to country music, and he will stick that on in the car, and he'll be there with the biggest grin because he knows everybody else is having the worst time.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty open music wise, but country is the thing I can't get by. I can't get by.
It's never been something I've been able to get on board with. Like, I've got a pretty broad spectrum of music that I listen to, but country for me, I don't know what it is. It grips me and it irks me in certain ways. Oh yeah, questionable music taste has got to go to Rogan.
We're going to make a few enemies famous, but you're right. It is like, it's the sort of thing where it's like, I don't know, it feels like it's trying to be relatable, but really the people like who sing it aren't like that, you know what I mean? Like, it feels like people who are trying to live off others' lived experiences.
Yeah, 100%, especially like modern country music. Yeah. Like, I can almost stomach sort of like, you know, Johnny Cash. My granddad used to listen to like Jimmy Nail with his crocodile shoes and things like that. But like modern day's take on music, when it's sort of trying to relate to stories of the past and the olden days and how things used to be, and I'm like, these guys haven't got a clue about what the dudes were singing about back in the day.
Yeah, you serious? Come on. No, I'm glad we agree on that. The next one is outside the ring. Who has the worst dress sense?
I think I've got to give a shout out to Robbie X with his little short booty shorts and socks and sliders. I've seen that man walk into rings and cut promos in a track jacket, little booty shorts, socks and sliders, and the crowd turned on him. Were telling him to put on some real shoes, to the point where Robbie himself was taking his sliders off, kicking them about, and just did full promo in his socks. It was an iconic moment, but I think rightfully deserved jip from the crowd there.
We have had the booty shorts mentioned once or twice. They are the outfit we could put together with some of the exact items that people wear that have been named is true.
Oh, you've got to give a shout out to Harrison as well with the Zumbas. The big baggy Zumbas, they're a quality piece.
Wait, so are we talking Harrison Bennett?
Yeah.
We've not had the Zumbas about Harrison Bennett. We've had the orange jacket about Harrison Bennett. Apparently,
You've got to see the brother turn up to the show in the Zumbas as he gets out of the car with them big baggy parachute pants. They're a thing to behold.
Truly something, truly a spectacle. Love it. The next one I think is very clearly the most important one on the list. It's who in the locker room would you, under no circumstances, let a family member date?
Jack Jester.
Yeah.
I think anyone that is known as the Big Pink, you'd have some questionable choices letting a family member date the Big Pink.
Yeah, no, it might be awkward at the family reunion and stuff like that. Yeah.
But I think outside the locker room, I mean, me and Jack Jester are thick as thieves. We are super, super tight. He's one of the loveliest men I've ever met, and he's such a big softie. But I think at face value, when he comes out that curtain, I think, you need to rethink your life choices if you're letting any of your family members date Big Kink.
No, I get that. The next one is the opposite of the worst dressed one, because we're talking in the ring now. We're talking you, Scotty Rawk, turn up to a show and you've forgotten your gear, and you need to rush back to the locker room and borrow someone's gear. But we're talking one size fits all. You can pick whoever you want. Whose gear do you look at and you're like, I could definitely pull that off?
Rain Leverkusen. My fellow metalhead, my fellow Grebo, my fellow heavy metal goth attire with the tassels, with the animal print, with the big chunky boots, with the heavy metal t-shirts, the big hair. Yeah, I think I could absolutely rock the Rain Leverkusen look. So if I was on a show and I'd forgot my gear and I was like, can I borrow some of those animal print pants, some of the tassels? I'd be straight out there. I'd be moshing, I'd be headbanging. 100%.
It is a vibe. It is a vibe. Like, absolutely. I remember, like, she's one of the ones where, and I've told this to her before, like, as well, where her Eve debut I was there for, and, like, I'd never seen her wrestle before, and she came out, and I was like, who the fuck is this? Like, it was just, like, it's that look that, like, instantly gets you.
Oh, 100%. You know what she's about. You know that she means business. Yeah. And as I say, like, again, the work that girl not only puts into her look, but the work that girl is putting into like her in-ring ability and the matches that I've seen that girl have, absolutely incredible stuff.
Yeah, insane stuff. Absolutely. The next one, they all get quite nice. The next one's quite nice as well. It's who would throw the best party in the locker room?
Who would throw the best party? I think the Act 2 boys would definitely throw a good party. Not just because they've both worked behind bars, but I reckon just the vibes would be immaculate. I know that Knudsen is the life and soul of any locker room that he's in. He's always going around making everybody smile, making everyone laugh. And it's the same with Con. Like, Con is one of the loveliest lads I've ever met in my life. Benjamin Harland and Jack Knudsen, piece of my heart. They are the boys. So yeah, I reckon they throw a pretty sick party for the pair of them. But yeah, 100%.
Love that. And the final one again, I think like the dating one is very important. This one I think is equally as important almost, because this is one that's going to keep you alive here. This is, who would you choose to be your partner in the zombie apocalypse?
Oh, I think I have 2 or 3, and they're all very strong females. Molly Spartan.
Yeah.
L.A. Taylor. Sky Smithson.
It's a formidable trio.
Yeah, any of those 3, if you were in a zombie apocalypse with any of those 3, you know, you've got the beauty, you've got the brawn, you've got the brains, and those girls would have your back throughout. I mean, Molly Spartan, I've been in plenty of locker rooms with, and she's like the mother hen of the locker room. She makes sure that everyone's safe, everyone's sound, everyone's having a good time, and she's just a little ray of sunshine. I don't think you could panic or be worried or scared in even a zombie apocalypse with Molly around. LA, just what a brute force that she would be. And I think that she'd have some absolute devious plans for keeping you safe, keeping you smart, keeping you switched on through a zombie apocalypse. And the same with Sky. So I reckon they've definitely got some tricks up their sleeves. And I reckon they all know how to swing a bat or swing something to fend off the hordes, you know?
Oh, for sure, for sure. Oh, excellent choices. Yeah, like I was gonna say, like I would struggle to whittle it down to just one because any of those three would be good.
100%, 100%.
No, I love that. I love that. Brilliant. Well, in terms of moving forward, and again, in terms of something that we spoke about before recording, and if you don't mind me bringing it up, that's cool. And if not, we'll cut it out. But like you mentioned that you're moving down south in the next few weeks.
Yeah, so obviously always been a northern boy based in Grimsby born and bred, but spent a little bit of time up the coast running a bar. I've been up in Scarborough running my own pub, and I've been given the opportunity to, with the brewery and with my job, be able to move down. So I'm going to be London based within the month. So from mid-November onwards, I think there's a hell of a lot of Southern fans, Southern promotions that will be blessed with the dog's bollocks. I'll be down and around all the local training schools, hanging at all the local promotions. So yeah, I really, really want to make the most of this big move. Looking at just outside Watford area where I'm going to be based, going to be moving to. So yeah, there's going to be plenty to come in the pipelines from moving down to the country capital.
Love that. I love that. Any Southern promotions watching? Yeah, Scotty Rawk, let's get it done. Let's get it done. I mean, that's a huge decision. I mean, first of all, congratulations, but also I have the big step again because I know you say Grimsby born and bred. Like, I imagine it can't have been an easy choice necessarily to like make the move down south because like again, you're a northern boy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can take the boy out the north, but I don't think you can take the north out the boy. I'm sure there'll be plenty of tweets that'll be coming out. I can't believe the price of such and all the rest of it, you know. But I think it's all part and parcel. I think it's definitely going to be another chapter, another huge character development, not only for Scotty Rawk in ring, but also me in my personal life as well. Connections, opportunities. Like everything is just in the palm of your hands, on your doorstep. I know there's plenty of promotions that are eager to have me back and that I'm eager to reach out to that are going to be so much easier to get on board with now that I'm closer to airports and things like that. So it's been mad ripping up the European scene these last couple of years. So I'm really, really looking forward to this move. It's going to be a long time coming, I think.
Love it. Like you'll be a Londoner in no time. It'll be fine. You'll be like, give it a few weeks, and you'll be straight away. You'll have the accent and everything. It'll be.
Oh, I latch onto accents, something rotten. All I have to do is spend 2 days in Liverpool, and I'm back to my university Scouse twang. You know.
Oh, it's going to be great. London Scotty is going to be incredible. I love that. Again, you've still got your roots up north. You've still got, especially in the ring, like you say, like we were saying before recording. You got BWR, you got NGW. You got all we work with TNT as well. Like, it must be nice knowing, again, like, because I know that, like, things like travel costs and stuff are tough for promotions. It must be nice knowing you've got those roots. You're, like, firmly planted in a lot of those promotions. I mean, BWR is, I was going to say, we talk about constant since the last time we last spoke. Like, that's one constant that you've had, like, throughout that time and even before that, where, like, that's been, it seems like your home. Like, that's been the place for Scotty Rawk, right?
Yeah, 100%. BWR has always been my home. From training in the Grimsby Wrestling Academy before anyone even knew the name Scotty Rawk, before anyone even knew the name BWR. There was a handful of like Grimsby-based wrestlers, Grimsby-based workers that were kind of left in limbo after that academy shut down, that we all mucked in, chipped in and built BWR really from the ground up. And I think since post-COVID, the last sort of 4-5 years, it's just absolutely blown up. And I think, to be fair, not to pat myself too much on the back, but taking that BWR championship around Europe with me, around the world with me, making it a world title, defending it in 3, 4, 5 different countries, has just created this aura around BWR as a product, BWR as a promotion. They're a brand that, as I say, I really, really do hold close to my heart. We are very much a family behind the curtains. Everyone looks out for each other. Everyone always shows up and gives their best, whether it's from behind the music desk to the production, to the lighting, to the videography, to the photography, to the in-ring work. It's always time to show up and show out for BWR. And over the last couple of years, we've managed to go from selling out 250 at the local Memorial Hall to going all the way to Grimsby's biggest venue at Grimsby Auditorium and pulling in almost 1,000 people there twice in the last year, within 6 months of each other, almost pulling 1,000 people in both times. So it's just elevating more and more. And I think definitely keep your ears peeled and keep your nose to the ground, because with there being a southern move on the cards, there is always the chance for something for BWR to sort of branch out and maybe have some kind of BWR South. That's something that we have been talking about and could be in the pipelines.
Yeah. Oh, that would be great. Let's make that happen for sure. That would be incredible. I mean, like you say, like, it's been incredible to see how far BWR has come. I think, like, especially again since we last spoke, but especially since after lockdown, I think, like, if you look at promotions like BWR, I think, like, up north, I guess the big one, the mainstay for like years has been NGW, and I think, like, before that, like, that they were the ones sort of like, you know, that were the big draw in the north. And I know the north is big. I know that's generalizing a lot, but, like, if you look at, again, post lockdown, like the rise of BWR, the rise of True Grit as well, and like how North have come along in Newcastle as well. Like, you look at all three of those promotions, along with TNT, of course, which I think was always a bit of a mainstay anyway. But, like, you look at all three of those promotions and how far they've come, and the numbers, like, you guys are all getting now, and what they're doing. It's showing that, like, there's just such a want for it. Like, there's such a talent pool, and there's such a great group of people making these things happen in Leeds and in Grimsby and up in Newcastle as well. Like, there's just, like, it's brought so much to the scene as a whole in terms of who's come through there.
Absolutely. I think creating more quality work, quality workers, giving them those reps, giving them like a regular fan base to work in front of, does nothing but polish the product, whether that is the promotion itself or the in-ring wrestlers, the workers that get to go out there and perform on some of these incredible shows, get to utilize some of these absolutely mega platforms. I mean, I've had the privilege of working for True Grit. I've had the privilege of working TNT regularly, NGW regularly, as I say, helping build BWR. And I've got my North re-debut this weekend coming. So that's been a long time coming for me, and it's been a banner that I've wanted to fly for the longest time. So yeah, absolutely, I'm a strong believer in what's the saying? Is it iron sharpens iron? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Sure. I was going to say about the like you said about the North re-debut. This is going to go out after that's happened. So once, like, that will have happened by the time people see this. But in terms of what that means to you, in terms of, like, again, being away from somewhere for a little while and, like, coming back and, like, almost like a fresh start sort of thing. Like, how much does that mean to you? How much are you looking forward to that?
Oh, I'm looking forward to that so much. I think reinvention is the key to keeping yourself relevant, really. I think having enough time away to work on yourself, both in and out of the ring, to sort of bring new ideas, to do the rounds, to work enough shows, to throw enough proverbial shit at the wall and see what sticks. Yeah, I think being able to come back to North and show them the full Scotty Rawk package is going to be something to write home about, definitely.
Love that. One more thing I wanted to get into before we go into our closing feature is like the subject of representation. I know it's something that's very important to you. I know it's something that you're never shy about discussing and never shy about waving the flag for. I mean, again, like most notably, again, I watched your speech you gave in the ring after you won the Rainbow Rumble at TNT. Like, I thought it was beautiful, man. I thought it was incredible. I mean, it's something that's clearly very close to your heart. Do you believe, like, I mean, not that enough to be numbered. Do you think, like, representation? I know the representation has come a long way in, especially British wrestling, I think, over the last sort of decade or so. Do you think, like, it's at a solid place now in terms of people are like, okay, like, comfortable with, like, being able to express themselves more so than, like, they had been in the past?
I'd like to think so. I can only speak from sort of personal experience with that. I was quite a late bloomer, so to speak. I mean, I was in a relationship for most of my 20s. So I didn't really have the opportunity myself to sort of dig deep and ask myself those questions to explore who I was. And I found out after quite a while that who I was is someone that loves people for people. So regardless of gender, so call that pansexual, call that bisexual, call it whatever you will. But yeah, being able to be a part of Effie's Big Gay Brunch when GCW's Effie came back to Liverpool after I worked with him at the GCW UK tour a couple of years back, to actually now in my present self, in my fully sort of accepted self of who I am, was a real nice sort of full circle moment for me. Not only to sort of win the Rainbow Rumble, but to actually like have a little bit of mic time afterwards and say my piece, go out there and basically say that, you know, it's okay to be different. It is the variety. Variety is the spice of life. It's that, as I say, constant sort of reinvention or reassurance, the self-discovery journey that every single person's on every single day, that keeps people interested. I think if we were all the same, then there'd be nothing that anyone could really relate to, because everyone would just be, I think, dull.
Yeah.
So I think having that variety within a locker room is super, super important, and having that representation on shows to resonate with the fans is also something that something that money can't buy, really. I think seeing people of all races, of all sexualities, of all colours, creeds and religions, stepping between those ropes to resonate with people in the audience that are either that way inclined themselves, or share the same faith, or have shared the same stories, the same struggles. It really is just that reassurance that they need, that, you know, these people are out there. No one is on their own. You don't have to suffer in silence. And difference is what makes us as people, and differences can create some amazing stories, and different people can achieve some incredible things. So yeah, I think one of the lines that I said during that little promo was, if the way that you live, if your life, if you being alive creates controversy, then that is true punk rock. And right now, I don't think there's a better time to just absolutely live and just take that statement as a whole. There is no better time to be punk rock than now.
No, I love that. I love that. And it's so true. It really is. It really is. If you don't mind me asking, I'm like, in terms of when you're going through that journey in yourself, like, is there a thought of like how, especially just in like wrestling wise, how others are going to sort of like perceive you following that, in terms, because I know, again, I only know from experiences through what I've heard from like friends, but like, it's not always an easy thing to like come to terms with, or like know how to tell other people about.
No, I completely agree with that. I do understand those that have found it very, very difficult, that those that have found it hard to come to terms with, those that have had those like internal battles and struggles with themselves when it comes to things like sexuality. My heart genuinely bleeds for you. For me, I think I don't necessarily mingle in the circles that are one to cast judgment. I think I've always been one that you put out the right resonations and people resonate back and come close to you. I think real recognizes real. If you cast your net out and pull it in. You're only going to find those genuine connections if you're putting out genuine feelings. So I think for me personally, being able to sort of be real with those in the locker room and those behind the scenes, it's not an easy thing because, as I say, the journey itself just isn't an easy thing to come to terms with. But knowing that I've had like my brothers and my sisters in the locker room having my back, talking me up, cracking jokes with me, like I'm very, very hard to offend, and I'm always a very tongue-in-cheek kind of person anyway. So knowing that I can still just be myself with my peers, with my friends, with those that, as I say, we share the ring with, we share the locker room with, I feel very blessed. I do.
No, I love that. I love that. Again, like you finally just sort of like, not just on that point necessarily, but in terms of going back to the fact that it's been a while since we last spoke on the podcast and a lot has changed since then. Do you feel more like yourself now than when we last spoke? Do you feel a more truer Scotty Rawk than when we spoke a couple of years ago?
Yeah, I think so. I think for a long time I was a little bit scared to turn the mirror on myself. I think I spent a lot of time trying to tell everybody else that it's okay to take your time and to work on yourselves and to fix yourselves and to make sure you're not pouring from an empty cup. That it kind of became a bit of a mask to hide behind to stop me having to turn the mirror on myself, to, work on myself and fill my own cup. So I think, the last sort of year to 18 months has been huge for growth, for personal development. I mean, since coming out, since like fully embracing myself, I think I've become a better performer. I think I've become a better supporter. I think I've become a better coach. I think I've become a better friend. I think it's really helped in the sense of just shaping and rounding me off nicely to be able to put myself out there in the world and kind of unapologetically say, this is me, this is who I am, this is what I stand for, like it or lump it, because I know that I'm a good person.
Nate, no, love that for you. I really do. And like, it's been awesome, like just watching as a fan to see like everything you've done in like, again, since we last spoke. I think like you've like climbed the ladder and like done so much in that time. And it's just been amazing to see. It really has.
I appreciate that, man. It's been a wild journey. It's been crazy to do. It's been crazy to, finish a show in Grimsby, drive down to Stansted Airport, fly to a different country, have 2 hours sleep, wrestle the match of my career, fly back, drive up to Liverpool, have another show. Like, it's honestly, I would not change it for the world. It is such an incredible journey to be on.
Absolutely. And journey's not over. Now you've got all of Watford at your fingertips.
Hell yeah, man. All of those connections. So yeah, I'll be down south doing everybody's head in no time.
Well, Scotty, I've got one final question for you before we wrap up. And this is not a question that I thought of because we have a closing tradition now on the podcast where our last guest leaves a question for our next guest with no context at all. So you're not allowed to know who left you the question. Okay. The person didn't know they were leaving you a question. It's all very out of context. So the question you've been left, I'm intrigued whether this is a North versus South kind of thing because I didn't fully understand it when they left it. But the question you've been left is, what's better, meatballs in tomato sauce or meatballs with gravy?
You see, I'm a weird one. Like, I don't know if it's a texture thing, but I'm not a gravy guy, and that's gonna. Oh man, they're gonna lynch me up north. They're gonna boot me down south. They're gonna be packing my bags for me for saying that I'm not a gravy boy. That's the least northern thing I think I've ever said that's ever been recorded. So I'm gonna have to go meatballs in tomato sauce.
That is, yeah, it feels almost like sacrilegious as a northerner.
Yeah, it's making my skin crawl just for the reactions that I think that's going to invoke.
Well, this is the divide as well. Do you go, because of that, are you like a northerner who goes curry sauce on your chips at a fish and chip shop?
I'm a seaside town boy, so there is no better chippy than a Grimsby chippy, and all you need is vinegar, and chip spice. If you've never had chip spice, if you've never had what they call over in Liverpool red salt, it will change it is literally just paprika and salt, but it will change the way you view a chippy.
I can't say I've ever had it. I know of it because of, again, just talking to a lot of Northerners, but like, I've never had it myself.
Oh, if you ever speak to Alexis Falcon, if you speak to her about any kind of condiments, it will be chip spice, chip spice, chip spice.
Yeah. That's intriguing. It's an intriguing answer. I'm weird in the fact that I get crucified for the fact that I don't really like pasta that much. So I went gravy because I like meatballs and rice. Of course. But like, yeah. See, that's the weird thing about me is that I don't like pasta that much.
That's fair. That's fair. Is it a texture thing as well? Is it a...
I don't know what it is. Like, I don't mind pasta. Like, someone puts a bowl of pasta in front of me, I'll eat it. But like, I'm never mad for it. I'll never order it. I'll never go out wanting pasta.
Yeah, I get that.
You know what I mean? Like, I'll never like be like, oh hell yeah, pasta. It's just like if it's there, I'll eat it. But like, I'm never excited by it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a weird one. But I love that. I'll get your question once we wrap up filming. But no, Scotty Rawk, thank you so much for coming back on the Grab Theory podcast. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here. I hope you've enjoyed it.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, my man. As I say, I think it's been a long overdue catch up. So yeah, no, it's been wonderful, and I hope to see you when I move down.
Absolutely, you definitely will, and I can't wait to see what you do down here. I can't wait to see all the promotions down in London, in the southeast, southwest. It's going to be great, and good luck for the move. Like, it's going to be great to see you down here, and I hope it all goes well for you.
Hell yeah, dude.
As always, we end the podcast by giving our guests the final word. So whether it's up north at BWR, at NGW, at TNT, at North, or down here in the south with all the new bookings you're sure to have coming, if someone sees you on a match card, on a poster at a show near them and comes to check you out, why is Scotty Rawk going to steal the show?
Scotty Rawk is going to steal the show, and he's one to watch, plain and simply because he is the dog's bollocks.